All right, sorry about the Zoom not working. So I'm going to try to give you the instruction through a video here, and hopefully this will help out. So today's lesson is on segment addition postulate. And then we'll get into some midpoint stuff, which that last one's pretty easy. So a segment addition postulate essentially says this. Let's say we have a segment. Remember that has endpoints. And I'll just put another dot somewhere. It doesn't have to be in the middle, so it could be like somewhere over here. And essentially says something like this. Let's say this has a length of 3. This has a length of 5. So if AB equals 3 and BC equals 5, then AC must equal 8. So when we take two parts of the segment, and you can see that B is kind of like the connecting point, then it adds up to the total from the start to the end. So this A to that C. So where this is useful is if, let's say, I give you the entire length of the segment. Let's say that whole thing is going to be a length of 12. And let's say I tell you that BC will be a length of 4. So if AC is 12, BC is 4, what must the length of AB become? Well, we don't know what AB is. We do know that BC is 4, and together it adds up to a total of 12. We could solve this equation. Just subtract 4, x must be 8. And of course, maybe mentally you already knew that in your head, but it kind of gives us a setup of what we want to do with some of these next problems. So let me find the worksheet for you and get it into my Notability. That didn't work. There we go. And the instructions first say this, that if B is between A and C, so kind of like that last line I drew, so here is AC, and B is somewhere between it, not necessarily in the middle, just somewhere in between. It told me that the length of BC is 124, and then the length of BA is 49. What must the length of A to C be? Well, we can do 49 plus 124, and that will give me 173. Do another. Again, all these problems are going to have A, C as the endpoints, B somewhere in the middle. Now it says AC is 61.5. BC is 34.5. What is the value of AB? So we don't know AB. We know BC is 34.2. And they add up to make 61.5. To solve this, you'll just subtract the 34.2. And of course, you're welcome to calculators for this. So 61.5 minus 34.2 will give me 27.3. And that's what you'll do for the rest of these problems. Now let's get to the ones that has equations on them. So again, I'll draw the AC. It always helps to kind of visualize this. So always draw a line to help out, just like I'm doing. Here it says that AC, the total thing, is 9x minus 11, whatever that value is. They'll just give you an algebraic expression. Then BC is 3x plus 1. And AB is 4x minus 4. So we don't know any exact values of any of these parts of the segments, nor the total of them. But what we can do is take each small part, like AB, which is 4x minus 4, combine it with BC, which is 3x plus 1, which will give me a total of AC, 9x minus 11. And now we just solve this equation like we were doing last week with solving algebraic equations. 4x and 3x makes 7x. Minus 4 plus 1 makes a minus 3. Here we have variables on both sides, so I will subtract 7x over. And then I will add 11. Lastly, dividing 2. So the value of x, the unknown variable, must be a value of 4. That's not the length of any part of these segments. It's just what the variable is. So if I want to find the length of AB, plug 4 into x for AB. So 4 times 4 is 16, minus 4 is 12. Do that same thing for BC. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. And lastly, AC, plug that in. 9 times 4 is 36, minus 11 is 25. And you can always double check. What's AB plus BC? It should give you the total of AC. 12 plus 13 is 25. And that's what you'll do for the rest of these problems. The last thing we want to talk about is what we call a midpoint. The midpoint being the point precisely, exactly in the middle of a segment. So here we're going to have segments A, B. And what we're going to do is find the exact midpoint of AB. So imagine this being like on a number line. So this hits 15 for this example, and this hits 43. What we're going to do is find the middle number between 15 and 43. So on a segment, what we do is we just simply find the average or the middle of the two. That's when we can add them up and divide it all by 2. So 58 divided by 2 gives me 29. That's where the middle point would be. The last thing is asking for the length of the segment, the length of A to B. How many numbers, from 15 till 43, the gap between them. And the way we do the length is we do the highest number, 43, and we subtract the lowest number, 15. So that was B, that was A, and we just take the difference between them. So 43 minus 15 should be 28. And then that's how we'll complete these 4 problems here. So again, midpoint, add them up, divide by 2. The length, just subtract the higher minus the lower, the right number minus the left number. And then lastly, for the algebraic expressions, kind of the same thing, just we have unknown values. We have algebraic expressions for these. Here we have LP as my line segment, and we're going to have a midpoint somewhere in the middle. It says that LM, we'll call M for the midpoint, is 4x plus 2, and MP is 11x minus 40. Now, what we know about the midpoint, again, is that it is the exact middle. That means the length from L to M, this bit right here, must be the same length from M to P. Therefore, whatever LM is and whatever MP is, they must be the same, equal. And then you solve this equation. Subtract 4x. Excuse my pen. And then add the 40 and divide the 7. So the value of the variable is 6. That's not the length of the midpoint or anything. That's just what the x is to make this statement true. And then when you get these two segments here, that essentially is asking for the length from M to P. So I'm just going to plug that in to my MP, 11x minus 40. So 66 minus 40, 26. Excuse me. And then you, for LP, do the same thing. Oops, sorry, LP. LP is the whole length. Now, if we know that MP is 26, LM, by default, must be 26 because we knew it was midpoint. They're the same distance. That means LP is 26 plus 26, or 52. All right, and then you could try to complete the rest of these. If you have any questions, please email me. I'll try to get Zoom working for the rest of the period, but if I don't, again, just try to shoot me an email. We'll get Zoom working tomorrow, hopefully, and I'll go over this again if I need to for tomorrow. If you have any questions, again, email me. Good luck.